With a name like JOYTUTUS, it has to be good. This is not so much a review video as it is kind of an unboxing and setup preview video, because I don't like doing reviews on products I haven't used more than once. Now this is the tent for the 6.5 foot length bed, or 6.5 you want to get fancy. I have a 2018 Toyota Tundra Limited with the 6.5 foot bed. The tent sets up like a standard tent. You basically have two X poles that are color coordinated. If you look at the two poles, in this case mine are green, they each go into the green pocket. Then you have a short pole that acts as a small ridge pole that goes in the front. And once you get it situated in the truck, you have another arch pole that goes over the doorway that is blue, and it goes in the blue pockets. And then there's another group of X poles that go over the awning, if you will. And then two horizontal poles that are short, and then it comes with nice cinch lines and two hooks. Very easy to set up. It did take a little while just to figure out which poles go where. But now that I have successfully set this tent up at least once, I will happily do it again and a lot quicker. I will do another in-depth video on the setup of this tent probably in a week or two, because I need to reset it up so that I can put some seam sealer on it. It was very cold this weekend, and the condensation, actually the next day when I took the tent home, I had to put it in my garage inside out and put a fan on it because of how cool it was this week, and the condensation inside the tent actually created more dampness on the inside of the tent than the dew on the outside. Only real concerns I had with this tent was the risk of the hooks scratching my paint. So when you do put the tent inside, it would behoove you to have a second party and put the tent in through the tailgate. Do not try to go up over the side of your beds. You will risk paint damage with the hooks slipping and sliding and swinging around. When I say hooks, I mean the hooks that are used to cinch the tent to the body of your truck. I think I'm going to get some heat shrink, and I'm going to add heat shrink to the hooks to add a little extra coating, a little padding, if you will. I'm 6'5". The tent is about 6'5" at the highest peak, so I was able to get up and dress myself in it. There is a hook on the inside which you can use to hang an LED lantern or what have you. Once again, the bed is 6'5", but with the tailgate down, it's probably closer to a full 7 feet. And so I have a full-size 1980s era military cot I had the full length of. As a matter of fact, I was able to store all three of my fishing poles underneath my cot completely straight. Didn't have to put them at an angle. They ran completely parallel under my cot, and I had enough room to zip my door shut. Plenty of clearance. So I'd say all in all, with the tailgate down, the awning up, and it zipped, you probably have a good 7 feet from the back wall to the front wall. I will give this tent a full review in the future. This is my first time using it. I will say I've been doing a lot of reenacting for the last 10 years, hence my outfit. And I've always been sleeping in an 80-year-old pump tent with no floor. I just sleep right on the ground on a piece of canvas and my blankets. This is my first modern tent, and I like the idea of it being in the truck bed because for the first time in 10 years, I don't have to worry about laying in fire ants. So you may ask yourself, why would I get a truck bed tent? One, it's huge. Two, you don't have to worry about laying it on the ground and being in fire ants. But I was also thinking about this. If you're traveling a lot, maybe you're transporting, you're out trying to find a place to camp, sometimes some of these camping spots are really small. And so when you have a truck bed tent, you don't have to worry about having enough room to park your truck plus have a place to set up a tent. You essentially just need to have enough room to park your truck, take the things out of the bed, in my case a kayak, and some boxes, and then set up your tent. And so you really require less of a footprint to have a truck tent versus having a truck and then a tent you lay up on the ground. I don't know if you guys can see very well here. We're inside of the tent. It is now 10:30 here in Florida. It is cold. It is officially 56 degrees, which is cold here in Florida. If you've ever seen that video I put out, sharing the comment with the woman who was from up north, talking about how cold down here is a different kind of cold.
People from down south are like, oh my gosh, it's 60 degrees, it's so cold.
Oh boy. I'm gonna give you some perspective from an Alaskan. You see this right here? Alaska, yeah, I was born and raised there. And now I'm living in the south, and guess what? It does get cold down here. I would rather be in Alaska with 0 to negative temperatures than be in Georgia when it's 30 or less with any kind of a wind or a breeze. See, in the north, we have dry air. In the south, you have humidity, which means you have humidity in the wintertime, which means that the air turns to ice, and with a breeze, it cuts straight to the bone. 20 degrees in Alaska, I'd wear a hoodie or a t-shirt outside. 20 degrees in Georgia, I'm putting a jacket on. No shame. I get made fun of all the time. Oh, you're from Alaska, you got that big old jacket on? Aren't you used to the cold? Yes, but not this cold. Not to mention it can be 70 or 80 in the daytime and 30 degrees at night. That's a 50-degree difference with no time to acclimate. So the next time you guys see someone in the south bundled up saying it's cold, don't make fun of them because it does get cold down here. And that's coming from a lifelong Alaskan.
So yeah, I'm going to get ready to lay down and go to bed. So I'll be right back. I'll take my contacts on and stuff. This is kind of cool. The edge of my bed makes a nice little railing to put contacts and phones and doodads and knickknacks. The tent has 2 storage places. You got a window here, a small window there, so in the summertime you can open it up, get some breeze passing through. I think there's a window somewhere attached to that. I haven't figured that out yet. There's a window over here as well. More storage. And so, as you can see, it's actually pretty cool in here. It works quite well. I'm gonna brush my teeth so that I can zip that up. It's funny, I was in here earlier today, just getting ready, and just having that window open for a short period of time, or shut for a short period of time. It actually made it kind of nice and warm in here. I put a water bottle up there. I was able to secure my fishing poles by putting them underneath my kayak. Not my kayak, but underneath my cot. Up. The wind's no longer getting in, and I am going to go to bed. So if anything exciting happens, I'll wake up and let you guys know. Later. It's currently 2:07 in the morning. 52 degrees. Now, just some of y'all living up in the north, where it's minus 18, 52 sounds wonderful. And I agree, it does. But in an environment where it's 90 degrees all the time and high humidity, 52 degrees was enough to send my entire body into a shakedown, even though I had one shirt and thermal underwear, while I just went outside to urinate. My body was shaking like I was in a cold plunge, because that's how cold it is down here. What I want to tell you is, if you ever find yourself camping in the wintertime, I just have a Walmart brand summertime sleeping bag. I'm sleeping on a cot. I have a wool blanket on the bottom, sleeping bag, 2 of my World War II era wool blankets on top. Like this, I'm cold. Right? So then I take my jacket, cover up the opening of my sleeping bag. Basically just cover up the top wool blankets. Tuck it under my chin so that the body heat's not getting out, and I get to the point where I'm sweating. Like I'm laying at the house. It's where I kind of like when you let the one leg hang out of your bed at home. I do this little opening, let my arm out, let some of the body heat escape. So if it wasn't for the fact that my nieces got me sick, I would probably sleep the night through. I got a really bad sore throat. But I am not cold as long as I'm doing this. And how I started the night off was by covering up my head completely, which is what I do at World War II events. But at World War II events, I don't sleep in a sleeping bag. I only use the correct era wool. Let me tell you, the sleeping bag is a game changer. Like right now, I'm laying here, and my feet and my legs are hot. Like I have so much body heat inside a sleeping bag. I really have to open it up, keep my body from sweating. Now obviously that has nothing to do with the design of this tent, but I'm just throwing that out there for you. If you find yourself out there in a tent and it gets cold, even if you don't have wool blankets, just like maybe some quilts, put your sleeping bag in between some blankets, and then take your jacket and cover up the opening. And you're essentially making a homemade mummy bag, and it's a game changer. Right. And so pretty much anything I bring camping, I try to have multiple uses for. So that canister not only is great for transporting blankets to the campsite, it's great for storing food to keep the animals and bugs out. But in most weekends, it works great as a seat. But in this weekend, it doubled as a easy way to get up in and out of the bed of my truck with nice and comfort. It made a great little step stool. The only real complaint I had is you had to hold the bottom of the tent flap kind of taut in order to completely zip the bottom of the flap or to open the bottom of the flap. Otherwise, it gets kind of loose and it hangs up on itself. But as of right now, that's the only complaint I have. If you don't have a tent at all, or you're wanting to get a truck tent, for the price, you can't beat it. You can get this on Amazon. I think it's roughly about $160, $170 after tax. If you're an Affirm user, you can even buy it on Affirm and pay $15 a month, whatever your deal is. So it's a very affordable tent, whether you pay for it outright or pay through Affirm or one of the other Shopify payment solutions or what have you. It's a great tent. There's plenty of room. I will say the same company makes a air mattress that's shaped like the bed of your truck. I didn't buy it. I don't have one yet. If Carrie decides to go camping with us, we'll probably get one because it'll be far easier to sleep on that opposed to the cot. I like the idea of the cot when you're solo camping because the downside to an air mattress in the bed of the truck is once you inflate it, that's it. You can't really do anything else in your tent. You can't really stand up and change in there because you're standing on the air mattress. So once you inflate that air mattress, you're committed to that air mattress until you deflate it. For solo camping, I like the idea of the cot. It fits great. It allows you to do other things in the tent. And I thought about maybe waiting another week or two before doing this video because as you can hear my voice, I'm still sick. I got sick the Saturday morning before we went camping, but I thought it added to the authenticity of this unboxing and the originality and the truthfulness of this video. So yes, I did in fact get sick. It is now 6 days later and I'm still sick. I wanted to get this video out for you guys to see it and enjoy it. I will have more in-depth review videos coming up. Once again, here at Digital 410 Media, I don't like to just buy a product, use it once, and then give you guys a quote-unquote honest review. I like to use a product at least 3 or 4 times. And so with that being said, it may be another month or 2 before you see the updated video. But before I truly give a raving review or an honest review saying this thing sucks, who knows, maybe 2 months from now I'll have all kinds of complaints. Maybe it'll fall apart, who knows. So I need to seam seal it and then test it out 2 or 3 more times and give you guys an overall review. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Please like, subscribe, share us with a friend, and we'll see you on the next one.
This has been a Digital 410 production.